everyone, hope you all are well. The first thing I'm doing today as always is priming the eye area, and I'm using the Urban Decay Primer Potion and just adding a few swipes across the lid with the applicator from the tube, and now I'm using the Sigma 3D HD Precision brush just to blend the product into the skin. The primer is just going to add a barrier between our skin and the shadows, so it'll prevent the oils that our eyes naturally produce from breaking down the shadows throughout the day. I'm revisiting another old palette this week as you seem to enjoy those videos, and today I'm busting out the Too Faced Chocolate Bonbons palette, and man does it still smell divine. The first shadow that I'm taking is that light off-white shade called Divinity. It's a satin finish shadow. I've picked it up on a flat C-shaped brush and I'm tapping this down under the arch of the brow, and then I'm sweeping it along the length of the brow as well. The next shadow I'm taking then is the one on the very top left. It's called Almond Truffle. It's a medium mauve tone shadow and it's a matte finish. I've just picked up some of this on a double-ended brush that came with the Urban Decay Naked Cherry palette, and I'm using the tapered blending brush side just to lay this colour down into the crease of the eye, and then I'm using back and forward sweeping motions and little circular motions to buff this colour into the crease. Then I'm picking up some more of that shadow on my brush and I'm adding a second layer. So I'm using the tip of that tapered brush initially to place down the colour into the crease and move it to where I want it. And then I'm using the brush at an angle, so kind of the side of the brush just to fade out the edges. But then I'm switching the brush around and I'm using the small bullet shaped side then to sweep some of that Almond Truffle shade all the way down along the lower lash line then as well. Next then I'm taking that shade Blackcurrant. It's a gorgeous warm dark purpley shade and it's got a lovely sparkle running throughout it. I remember the purple in the original chocolate bar palette, I just really couldn't get it to work, so I was much happier then that this one made up for that one's performance or lack of. I'm using a C-shaped brush now just to work that across the eyelid, and initially I'm just adding a light layer. I'm just laying down the groundwork now. Then I'm moving back to that double-ended brush and I'm using the bullet side once again just to blend some of that purple down along the lower lash line. Next then I'm taking that shadow in the bottom left hand corner called Dark Truffle, and this is a warm dark purpley brown with a pearl finish to it. I'm using the side of a fluffy brush. This one is just from Nima Brush, it's a company here in Ireland, and I'm using the side of the brush just to pat the shadow onto the outer corner of the eye to add some depth. Then I'm just dragging the colour up slightly and across into the crease, but I'm not using this brush though for blending. I want to be a little bit more precise, so I'm then switching back to that Urban Decay taper blending brush again now, and I'm sweeping back and forward over the edge just to make sure the Dark Truffle, Blackcurrant and Almond Truffle shade all fuse nicely into one another. With blending, I've lost a little bit of the intensity, so I'm just reapplying that Dark Truffle shade now, very carefully panning it down this time just to the outer portion of the lid, because I'm already happy with the blend, so it should be darkest on the lid and fade out lightly from there, so that's why I'm intensifying that area only. Then with the bullet side of that brush again, I'm just using some of that Dark Truffle shade down along the lower lash line, so sweeping back and forward and making sure that it connects up on that outer edge then as well. As I mentioned earlier, I was laying down the groundwork, so I'm going back to that Blackcurrant shade. This time though, I've spritzed my brush with a bit of setting spray just to help intensify those shimmery particles in the shade. I'm just reapplying it to the lid so that they will pop a little bit more. Now then I'm taking a single black eyeshadow. This one is from Makeup Geek and it's called Corrupt. I'm using an angled brush, this one is from Vanity Planet, and I'm just pressing this shadow along the upper lash line, and this will just help to conceal the band of lashes that I'll be adding in a moment. And you can use kohl pencil, you can use liquid or a gel, either, it's completely personal preference. But then I'm moving down to the lower lash line and I'm just adding the black down there as well. For the waterline, I'm keeping with the purple theme and I'm using this purple liner from Urban Decay. It's called Raw Energy. It was released around the same time as the Stone Vibes palette. It's got a lovely sparkle to it, so I just think it complements the look really well. For the last shadow then, I'm taking that other large one there called Satin Sheets. It's a kind of champagne shimmery shade and I'm just using this on a Wet n Wild pencil brush, and I'm lightly applying this around the tear duct of the eye just to give me a nice bit of sparkle. I've added some of the Eyelure Bauble lashes, and then I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury, I think it's called Push Up Lashes, the Pillow Talk mascara, but then that's it. So I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. I hope you found it helpful and easy to follow. If you did, please let me know, and I will catch you all in a video really soon.